Are you a technology professional or a business owner or somebody who's looking to leverage technology for their business success? You're in the right place. Welcome to AITS Podcasts. I'm your host and we are excited to have you join us today. We've started AITS Podcast, part of alasad.cloud, which is ALASAD.cloud. This is an initiative to help businesses understand technology, understand what they need, when they need it, why they need it, and this will be told to you by the specialists. So you might want to stick around to get some value. There's a lot of learning. Our guests will be sharing a lot of resources. I will be showing you the best ways to approach, the right strategies to use, the right tools to use. Having said that, let's get started.
So first of all, I really appreciate for giving me an opportunity in the podcast of yours, regarding the initiative what you're taking. I really appreciate, and I would like to contribute as much as possible from my side. So a quick introduction from my side. So my name is Sohail Patel. I'm into IT and cybersecurity industry from last 20 years now, and I've been to different organizations, different entities, different sectors, different regions, etc. For example, APAC, US, Gulf, UK, and Europe. I worked into industry just like financing, manufacturing, airlines, and so on, or the energy and oil sectors, etc. And also, I'm always trying to contribute to the cybersecurity community as a whole, because I think it is always good to giving back to the community. And that's one of the reasons. And I'm also the founder of a Cyber Pro community, which is ultimate goal is to how we can contribute.
Okay, awesome. Sohail, thank you very much. So it's quite interesting. You mentioned Cyber Pro, and of course, with your elaborate experience, that can definitely bring a lot of value to the enterprises in Qatar and around. Now, when you mentioned Cyber Pro, what is your vision for forming this organization?
So actually, this is one of the initiative for the cybersecurity community as a whole. It stands on based on the four pillars. The one is to connect the like-minded people of the cybersecurity community. It might be IT, cybersecurity members. It might be sales, pre-sales, executives, or any other passionate the comers, fresh, even graduates, if they are interested. And what we can do is, we can help them to grow into cybersecurity, and we can guide them. That is one of the pillar. The second pillar is, of course, to share the knowledge, especially the talk about the hot topics into relate to the overall evolving of the IT and cybersecurity domain, and have more discussions how we can safeguard each other, share the knowledge, and so on. The third pillar is to appreciate those members who are contributing to the cybersecurity communities, and not only those. We know some of them who are into frontline, but there are departments working in 24/7 in the background. To be very specific, like NOC, we have a Network Operations Center, we have a SOC, a Security Operations Center, and there are many departments. So this is one of the platform we can appreciate their efforts for giving to the ultimately helping to safeguard the organizations. And the fourth pillar is, of course, we are human being. We also need some refreshment to calm down. So having the lunch together or the snacks together, it will help us as create the more bonding to know each other. So that is the more.
It's more on the lines of community building. Absolutely. Yeah. Now, I mean, it's amazing. Look, you have an amazing community. I have been to one of your events. Loved it. I mean, it was one of the best things. And with all the cybersecurity people in and talking about giving back, that was something very, very refreshing. Now, so from the perspective of what's going on right now, so Cyber Pro, of course, you have got a community that is looking into like what's going on in the cyber world. At the same time, what is your vision? Like, look, now we're everybody's talking about AI, quantum computing, and all of that
So first
stuff.
of all,
So,
there is
what's
a
your take on
drastic
that?
changes, and there's a lot of evolution is going to happen. It's already in process. Okay, and it's always I would encourage to adopt those change as soon as possible, because that is the future. And of course, in AI, which is the artificial intelligence, that will give you a lot of opportunities for the members, for the community, to take the benefits, the larger benefits for the longer run. On the other side, of course, it will create a kind of opportunities for the attackers as well, to utilize those technologies to misuse, to attack the different organizations and take the ransomware and so on. So yes, I think this is one of,
You
yeah.
mean
So for
AI?
example,
Can they do
with
it
the
through
help of
AI?
AI and
Wow.
quantum computing, the combination, which is the deadly combinations, they can use of those technologies to attack the weaker sections of the sector. Especially, they might look at for the financial industry or oil
Mhm.
industry or in the critical stuff, and they would like to also take the opportunity for these technologies to boom, and they can take the misuse overall the technology.
It's actually amazing you mentioned oil and gas industry, because I was reading about the news articles just
Right,
this
I heard
morning.
that.
There's an attack on Halliburton, and they ended up shutting down their systems for a while. I think they're back now, but they didn't disclose much because a lot of them was like, no comment kind of stuff. But then, I mean, you're right. I mean,
Yeah.
yeah, absolutely. Those industries, and they're critical in the Middle East,
Right.
especially
So
because.
main thing is, we need to have some more discussions around the table, especially with the senior management, especially the cybersecurity strategist who is making the policies, processes, and to ultimately promote the culture to adopt those AI and cybersecurity together. Because and there are organizations, for example, NIST also, they are starting. I have recently seen that they have drafted a framework, how to use the AI framework, how to keep them, ensuring that we safeguard overall. There's no misuse of the AI technology and quantum computing, etc. So there are organizations, there are countries coming up with the some of the precautionary the framework that will definitely ensuring that if we comply with that, there are some best practices to be followed. And yes, in cyber pro, as I said, a community, this is one of the hot topic in the industry, and especially talking about the different organizations are adapting, and the future is everyone knows that the future is AI and quantum computing. So quantum computing is nothing but the supercomputers. So the supercomputers, of course, if it is used for the larger benefits, it will help a lot. Simultaneously, if it reaches to the hackers community, that will be the disaster for the many peoples. But yes, there are some precautions can be taken.
Okay, okay, fantastic. Now, I mean, these are still topics that are, I mean, especially in terms of the Middle East, it's still in the air at the moment. Yes, the executives, including the CEOs and the CISOs and the others, and CTOs, they're looking into this. But I mean, coming to something that's more closer to what we are facing at the moment. So, I mean, cybersecurity threats that are there at the moment. I mean, how do you quantify them? How do you see them? And what is your sort of like recommendations for different enterprises? And
See, first of all, the cyber threats are a kind of threats always there in the market. Okay, but yes, because of the technology evolution, those are very easy. For example, there is a small or the medium organizations who are not very much into focus into cybersecurity because of their some limitations of the financing. They are focused on their business and so on. However, the cybersecurity awareness is must. Okay, and there are attacks. For example, if you see the major type of attacks happen through the for the cyber ransomware attacks are because of phishing email, because of weak passwords, and because of unknowingly and unknowingly responding back to the some of the impersonating emails which looks like some executives are asking some details or the payments, and they are doing those without without knowing the exact the reason or exact the impact. So these are the like top three. As I said, phishing email is one of the top reason behind the ransomware attack. So if we focus on that, that will help us a lot to reduce to the some extent.
And they keep getting better for some reason. I mean, I've been getting emails from from Amazon, from different places. Oh, your package is waiting. Then sometimes I get an email from some local postal space. Then somebody emails me, your credit card or your debit card is about to expire. I mean, people do
Yeah,
fall for
exactly.
that, right?
So these are easiest way to hack, take the advantage of that. That's called social engineering and this kind of phishing email. There are terms like phishing, smishing. Smishing is you're getting some SMS. Quishing is one of the term where
Mhm.
you scan the barcode and you get the all your data can be hacked. So there are a few terms. If we can take if they have the basic awareness, I'm sure they can limit it. But yes, as I said, the there are nowadays hackers are also pretty creative to give
Right.
you a lucrative SMS bonuses and based on the timing. For example, if there are some events is going on, you will get something related to that event, and that will create some sort of urgency or some sort of 70% bonus, 100% of free stuff. So be careful because ultimately we have to be sure there are some, of course, basics checks how we can do that. We can maybe in the future we can talk about that, but there are some precautions, there are some checklists. If we can follow that, we can reduce those because cybersecurity awareness is must to all the layers. It goes to a senior level, mid level, even though some of the members who are the contractors.
It's interesting we're on this topic. There's another thing that I've seen in the recent past is let's say I've got a domain and and it's my company domain, and somebody sends me an email from that company domain
Mhm.
itself. Now, there's no way in the world I will not trust that, right? For an average user. Now, I've seen hackers trying to utilize that as well. So let's say I don't know, mail at mycompany.com. And mycompany.com is mycompany.com, and this is where my
Right.
email is. And still, so I'll definitely be clicking that. So how, I mean, can we avoid that kind of phishing? I don't know what kind of phishing that is, but this is like very
Yeah,
sophisticated.
first of all, yes, there are, as I said, there are very creative ways. There are hackers are trying to get encourage you to click on the links, to respond back to the email, and so on. So what it happens ultimately,
Mhm.
the display name looks as your one of the employee or the boss. What we have seen in the past,
Mhm.
especially it happens, it will have some sort of email which shows some emergency, urgency, and asking you to take the immediate
Mhm.
actions to do the payment and so on. So there has to be
Yeah.
some multi-factor authentication. For example, if you are about to give some payments, always have additional checks to calling back and confirm that. Not only just depend on the email, but have a additional check, additional confirmation. There are organizations keeping a secret codes internally so that okay, it is mentioned
Mhm.
in that email. Then okay, it is verified one. Also, it's always good to confirm if you are making some payments. I have been to some of the use case study which says that this is a normal trend in small and business, no, medium businesses, because they are not aware of these type of attacks. And I think uh, that if someone knows about the very basics of cybersecurity fundamentals, we can save a lot of time, efforts, and money because of these attacks. Uh, if you click on that particular email ID, okay, there will be some spelling mistake. There will be some additional dots, comma, or underscore. Yes. So as I said, if you're having some emails where you see some urgency asking you, unusual stuff in the midnight or do the payments, I would say, go through this checklist, check the emails properly, have the authentication, second layer of authentication, that is called either multi-factor authentications, or at least have the confirmation from the respective stakeholders before you do the payments, etc. And these are the practical challenges which they are facing, and you brilliantly touch base on those questions.
No, it's fantastic, Sir. It's actually like thank you for providing that information in such a simple format. I hope people watching this would be able to understand. Now, I mean, coming to the subject of like the training and whatnots, and how IT professionals, actually security professionals within the business, can leverage. Do you recommend any kind of like standard cybersecurity frameworks that are like common and can be easily adopted and whatnot, so businesses can
Yeah, there
leverage
are
that?
some the basics. One is ISO 27001 and the NIST framework, and that is the good to start, and
Okay.
good to have those. But yes, it is the ongoing process. There has to be the review at least quarterly or once in a 6 month. That gives you a check. Everything is working fine as expected. Because as you know, there are things with changes. People are coming and going. They are onboarding and offboarding. So, for example, within a quarter, there are people who left the organizations. So those checks will help us to ensure
Mhm.
that those members who left the organizations are offboarded, and they don't have the enough access to get the if they are out of the organizations officially, though they don't get the access on the some of the critical stuff or the critical information, because as I said, information is nowadays is a critical for every organizations. And that's one of the area that is
Absolutely.
that we encourage to have the data classifications. If someone is saving some files, creating some files, it's always good to that enforce them to define while creating the file. Is it confidential? It is internal. It is for external purpose, and so on.
Mhm.
So one of the suggestion from my side.
I think that can help with the. Sorry to jump the subject, but you mentioned this. This is interesting because if you label the files, then because these days everybody's using ChatGPT or
Yes.
Gemini or Claude. So if you're labeling that file, I think, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but that will help the user not to upload the file to ChatGPT platform because that's public AI, and once the file goes there, it belongs to
Exactly.
them,
See,
right? I mean, because nobody can trust
exactly.
those.
See what happens. If you give them the basic awareness of the cybersecurity, especially nowadays, ChatGPT and
Mhm.
other AI tools are very famous. It will ease your task, etc. But be careful if you are uploading the confidential data. It is available to the outer world,
Yeah,
and yes, because the labeling will at least have some sort of the thinking. Yes, if this is the confidential data, I should not be uploading into the this AI platform and so on. Yes, of course, there has to be some strategy build should be built up. For example, from the senior level executive to the mid level to the ground level, and very specifically in the Gulf region, for the those members who are contractors. So we need to also ensure that they are also getting a cybersecurity awareness training, because there are members or the non-technical members in the different departments who are working on these Excel words, and they are sometimes taking the help of the AI tools, etc. So there has to be a
yeah,
basic training. Of course, we need to promote those cultures where they can ask any questions. There might be some helpline, internal helpline, which goes to the IT department, support them, so they can ask them those clarity. If I'm updating this, uploading this specific file, is it okay or not okay? That's okay. So yes, of course, because if you are uploading some sort of critical file, it will create a disaster later on.
mhm. Absolutely. And now like the information is everywhere. So like, I mean, the best way, one of the ways that somebody was recommending the other day was to Google. I mean, actually go to ChatGPT
Absolutely.
or any other platform, AI platform, and actually put your company name there
Yeah.
and see what comes up. Because that's one of the things that one of the ways that you'll be able to see, and especially in terms of like the financial,
Exactly.
the accountants and others, if they are processing the data and they start taking ChatGPT's help, that
Yeah, it
can
will
that
be a
can cause a
disaster,
disaster.
definitely, and it will be a compliance issue as well, because you are uploading critical or confidential data. And yes, that's the one of the reason. Apart from the
Yeah.
cybersecurity awareness training, or if the organization is having a budget, so yeah, I know that there are some solutions which restrict those uploads or enforce the compliance policy in the systems or the access, etc. So there are ways to restrict it or to limit it.
they, I mean, when we talk about the processes and everything else and the expensive software, now this is very aligned to the
Exactly.
enterprises, the large enterprises who have got the budgets, they've got security teams, and probably specialized few people who actually do the work. Recently, I saw, I think there was some article in some website, or so they were talking about Qatar's focus on the SMB cybersecurity. And a lot of these security companies, all the big ones, Fortinet, Palo Altos, and all the others, they've started focusing on the SMBs as well. So, I mean, because SMBs don't have the budgets, they don't have the expertise and this understanding because they are building a product or bringing the product and selling to the market, but they're sitting on a ton of data which can be breached, which can that let's say their website goes down. So, is there any specific strategy where like without spending a ton of money?
Yeah, first of all, of course there are some compliances now. The guidelines are available within the Gulf region. Each country is having those compliances recently built up for the SMB sector. And if you follow those guidelines, it will help them somewhat to have the basic understanding how we can safeguard those basic stuff. But yes, as I said, there has to be some strategy in the executive level, the roundtable discussion with them, because once they have the understanding of the importance of the cybersecurity as a whole in the small organizations, then top-down approach will help us to ensure that those thoughts, those importance are being conveyed to the ground level. So this is one of the important stuff for the SMB. And as you said, there are some different ways. For example, as you said correctly, they don't have dedicated teams. There might be some teams, but they are not the extended one. We don't have much resources. So in those area, the managed security providers are kind of helping them, ensuring that they get the bundled support, which means they might be looking at the antivirus, the endpoint support, firewall support, the threat detection, etc. So they give them those sort of services focused on SMB, small and medium-sized businesses. So that is one of the option, of course. But yes, before everything, the awareness must be there to the ground, and especially the weakest link is always the human, and it's always better to give them the enough understanding about the cybersecurity and the impacts if you don't follow that.
Perfect. And so SMBs, from what you said, I picked out just a couple of things. So one of the things that SMBs can protect themselves is probably working with their local SOC provider. Now there are plenty of SOC providers, and so they can select one of them and they can start working with them to at least have the basic level of security and protection for
Right.
their
Right.
environment.
So for
Correct?
example, they can have the basic antivirus. The software updates must be updated based on their
Yeah.
criticality of the things, ensuring that we have the understanding of the resources in terms of there has to be some basic processes available, which says that incident response plan in case something goes wrong, how they're going to respond back, how to whom to contact, who are the members to get the help, etc., and so on. So the preparation will always help, because to be prepared is always half the battle won.
Okay, fantastic, fantastic. So this discussion is amazing. Like, look, the thing is, like, if we keep talking about it, we can go
Exactly.
for hours because it's super interesting and it's human related. But for the sake of time, what I would want to do is I would want to come back to a little bit on the Cyber Pro, because that's like quite interesting initiative that you have taken, as in like building the community for cybersecurity professionals. Now I've got a couple of
Yeah.
questions around that. Let's see if people want to join in to your community, what will be the best approach that they have to take to join the
So
community?
first of all, we are evolving with the time as well. There were some events we have done for online and offline. The idea, as I said, we are working on four pillars to connect with the like-minded peoples, have the knowledge sharing, appreciate those members who are contributing, help the freshers to come into the cybersecurity, understand, guide them toward the career. And the fourth is having a good time with them, like refreshing snacks, etc. And so on. And so what we encourage, what we promote, always we cannot work alone. There has to be some contribution from the like-minded people who want to contribute, giving back to the society as a cybersecurity community. So what they can do is, we have our group, we have a some email address which I can publish you maybe in your the details. Of course, what we want is they can come to the forum, take the opportunity of the forum, discuss the hot topics what we have. For example, as correctly the chosen those topics like AI, quantum computing. These are the futures. Like so, yes, there is an opportunity for us as a cybersecurity community come together, have discussions, have the thought process, thought provoking, cross questioning, like how we're gonna help each other in the larger role. That's the idea. Definitely, I'll be sharing some of the details to you. You can share those if they want to
Sure.
contribute toward that objective. Ultimately, the main idea is to let's help each other.
Thank you. I mean, that's very generous and perfect. So, anybody wanting to join the community Cyber Pro, we'll put the link and slash the email in the description. You can reach out to Sohail and his team, and you'll be able to get into the community. Maybe go to a few events that they sponsor and that they work with. Now, another question, Sohail. What is the sort of the reading material that you recommend to, I'd say, aspiring cybersecurity professionals or people who are wanting to change their career? So they've been an IT administrator for a long time. They've been managing the system. So, what is the best approach for them to adopt to transition into a
Yeah,
cybersecurity
you touched
professional?
one of the again the one of the practical challenges, or I have getting a lot of questions related to this because there are people who are into IT industry and they want to take the opportunity to go into the cybersecurity domain and take the ultimately get the good growth, the good packages, good giving back to the society, and so on. Ultimately, so yes, there are some steps. I think we have already publish some of the basics documents, how to transition the from the IT to cybersecurity. Also, we have published some of the basic stuff for the freshers, how they can start with the cybersecurity career. And there are some sessions is going on as and when they people are wanted to contribute to the different topics. As far as I know, we have already covered 25 plus sessions already for the cybersecurity freshers, and we had at
Perfect.
least 8 sessions, 8 to 10 sessions on the specific topic of cybersecurity. There was, I think, if I remember, there were some CISOs who were part of some of these sessions. They have contributed a lot, like how they are thinking as a CISO. So what happens in those sessions? No, if you are with the experts with the different cybersecurity profession of the different angles. For example, if there's a member who is the senior executive, there's a member from the fresher side, there's a member who's from the IT who is having the 10 years experience. So what happens? You have everyone from the different aspects. You understand every angle about the cybersecurity, and you can cross you can understand the whole strategy as a whole, and that's the way you can improve. Because where you stay, where you are in those environment, you get the get the impressions, or get the a spark to think like that, to think them like that. Those people. It always helps. It's always good to keep learning.
Absolutely, absolutely. In the end, the way I think is cybersecurity is more on the lines of how a human approach is taken towards protecting
Exactly.
something. And I think that has been going on since ages, because now what we are seeing is it's more on the lines of computers and whatnot. Previously, they used to protect it some other way, but I mean, the way you have explained it, this was my final understanding. Hey, it's very human. And I mean, getting into cybersecurity field, yes, you need to learn a few things. You need to get into like a few tricks and whatnot. But at the same time, it's not all about certification. It's mostly about human understanding and protecting, and how to make sure that you are protecting your assets well. Right? So, the very, very last question. Uh, does CyberPro as a community, are you focusing on a certain vertical, certain segment of like, let's say, people like academics, like oil and gas, like large size companies or smaller size companies? I mean, how does your focus evolve around, and what kind of people you have in your community that are focusing on such
So
things?
first of all, this community is focused purely to contribute to the cybersecurity, IT and cybersecurity both, because ultimately we have to work hand in hand. So what happens, there is no specific sector, there is no specific regional stuff, there is no entity stuff. What we are focusing is small, medium, large organizations. There are some sessions I've seen the people from the different organizations like private, semi-government, oil sector, finance sector, and so on. So it's very open for them, especially those who are passionate about to learn new stuff, upskilling them. They want to be in a company where the people are discussing the ways to adopt and to how we can safeguard their cybersecurity organizations, and of course as a contributing back to the cybersecurity community as a whole.
Fantastic. So thank you very much for your time, and it has been a great discussion.
Same.
Appreciate it. So that was Mr. Sohail Patel. He's been a cybersecurity specialist for a very, very long time, most seasoned as expert on cybersecurity. I mean, any last points you'd like to add with regards to how you see what's coming
See,
in the future?
things are changing at fast level. What I can request is learn at least one or two very small topics per day. What happens after a month or so, you have the whole repository with you. So, for example, understand the AI, quantum computing, especially because these are the futures. Like, so only the request, we have to keep the passion to learn every day and upskill, focus on the skills, not just the certifications. That is the main idea behind this. So best of luck for every cybersecurity or IT members. I hope they will be take benefit of these sessions. Of course, this podcast. I really appreciate you giving me an opportunity to discuss on those hot topics.
It was amazing having you.
Okay, have a
Thank you
nice
very
day.
much, Sohail. And with that, we wrap up the podcast. Thank you for listening. And if you like this, please share with like-minded people, and hope somebody will get benefit of this.
Thank you. Have a
Thank you
nice
very
day.
much. Cheers.